125 cc's of noise then is about to hit the circuit here in Zuera as the carts head out onto the track for race 3, heat number 3 for the juniors, the 13 to 15-year-olds. There is a reminder on screens at Telemundi TV of the starting order based on qualifying yesterday. Ollie Caldwell, one bad race but one good one with a second place finish last time out, starts on pole position for KR Sport. Alongside him is Mark Kimber. Both of them are championship front runners. Mark Kimber with the Strawberry Racing team is in number 7. Row 2 is his teammate Axel Charpentier, the points leader in kart number 88, and Tom Canning in number 38 for KR Sport, who got in 5th place in the second heat. Like Ollie, like his teammates, had one good race and one bad race. Row 3, we got Dylan Byes, who is looking pretty quick here this weekend. But again, has had one good result and one not so good result. And then Glenn Van Berlo, likewise, a good first race to win. And then second in the second race, but then picking up this penalty that we talked about. So he needs a good one here from the outside of row 3. Row 4, we've got Killian Mayer and Joe Phillips. On row 5, Oscar Palomortis and Laszlo Toth. Row 6 is Tamina Bergmeyer and Josep Vea Terrado. Row 7, Laurie Lepper and Andre Volta. Row 8, Lucas Dunner and Alejandro Schimpf. Row 9, Bardia Burmand and Adam Smalley. Row 10, Jessin Ferrati and Piotr Wisnicki. Row 11, Adrian Schimpf and Conor McCarthy. Row 12, Dirk Seafried and Antoine Percival. Row number 13, Ruben Delsart and Julian Kabawara Wag. The penultimate row 14, Pepin Kregerfeld and Jean Nomblo. And the last row of the grid should be Enzo Valant on his own. We should therefore have 29 drivers. Looking forward to a 7-lap race then for the juniors. Looking to get pole position here if he can. Axel Charpentier has had a win and a second and has the best set of results so far. Sorry, he's had a win and a fourth, the best set of results so far. I think by quite some distance, actually. There aren't too many drivers that have, as I say, had 2 solid results so far. Killian Mayer's done pretty well. He had a second and a 10th, so he might be in the mix for a decent grid as well come the pre-final. So at the end of this, we'll know who's going to be on pole position for tomorrow's first point scoring race, the pre-final. 34 points up for grabs for the winner of that one. The winner then gets pole for the final, and the winner of the final tomorrow will pick up 55 points in this, the third round of the championship. I'm Chris Hartley, trackside, ready to talk you through this race. Then we're coming up to the rolling start. And this, a really important race now to set the tone for tomorrow and get everybody as high up the grid as they can. Ollie Caldwell has made good start so far from pole position. Mark Kimber, he's looking to not lose too many places from the outside of row 1. Likewise, Tom Canning. The revs build, the lights go out, the race gets underway. Very good start once again for Ollie Caldwell. Axel Charpentier making a decent start as well from third. He'll go straight into second place. It looks like Dylan Byes has initially got third place going down into turn number 2. Mark Kimber, I think, has settled into 5th place from the outside of row number 1. As into the hairpin for the first time in the race they go. Nice wide exit to turn 3 into sector 2 and up towards this arcing left-hander at turn 4 where it is possible to overtake, but nobody makes a move just yet. Through they go. It's Dylan Byes that made it through, and it's Killian Mayer that got to 4th. Mark Kimber in 5th place then, I reckon. It could be Tom Canning. I think the colour scheme suggests it's Tom over in the distance, just there in 6th place. Everybody through the first half a lap. No real dramas in the race so far. We had some fantastic racing from the juniors in the first 2 heats. Let's see how this one pans out, because there's been lots of overtakes, lots of changes of lead, and 1 or 2 dramas, and more than enough penalties for one day as well, with particularly the front fairings that we've talked about already with this new system, throwing up 1 or 2 5-second penalties. So the top 3 strung together over the start-finish line at the end of lap 1. It's Caldwell from Charpentier, from Byes, and then there's a bit of a gap back to Killian Mayer in 4th place. Mark Kimber has just gone through, though, into that 4th place. So the British driver back up to 4th position at the start of the lap. And here comes a challenge maybe from Axel Charpentier down into the hairpin to try and get the lead of the race from Ollie Caldwell. It looks like he's gone through, as Dylan Byes got through as well, quite possibly, yeah. And so through they come with the former race leader down to 3rd place now. The pole sitter, Ollie Caldwell, though, let them go. He has got plenty of time to fight back in this race, and good sensible driving. So Charpentier and Byes through. Caldwell loses another place to his championship rival Mark Kimber, who goes through, and Killian Mayer at turn 6 is alongside, but digging in deep there to fend him off is Ollie Caldwell. So he loses 1 place at the corner, but he makes sure it's no more than that. and he's still in the hunt here. But you can see how those little tussles just break up the pack, and the top two have a tiny bit of an advantage now. 2 or 3 kart lengths clear of the new third place driver, Mark Kimber, who's fighting his way very nicely back up the order. Nose to tail for the top two then. Axel Charpentier and Dylan Byes as they go across the line. Number 7, Mark Kimber, is just under half a second behind them in third place. Ollie Caldwell is in fourth place. Glenn Van Berlo in fifth position. Killian Mayer sixth. Tom Canning in seventh. And is there going to be another change of lead down at the hairpin? Dylan Byes looking for his first win of the day. Doesn't get through. Tamina Bergmar is in 8th place, Oscar Palamortitz in 9th place, and Joe Phillips is running at the top 10 as it stands. There, the leaders on screen on this, the third lap of the race, already coming up towards half distance. It's a 7-lap race this, and down towards the hairpin at turn 6 they will go. The left-hand hairpin, good place to overtake. It's not as tight as the earlier hairpin at turn 3, but you can certainly get through there. But as I mentioned earlier on, it's having run around the track last night, the night before last. Yeah, I can't believe it either. I ran around the track for 3 laps and, well, I jogged quite slowly around the track for 3 laps and discovered that it is quite a climb. Very gradual, but it's a climb up out of that hairpin through the next couple of corners. Also, noticed my trainer sticking to the tarmac. It's so sticky out there from the rubber that's been laid as Dylan Byes goes for the lead of the race. He takes Mark Kimber with him. Charpentier is demoted down to third place at turn 1 at the start of the lap. So we've got a new leader, Dylan Byes. Mark Kimber, good racer, looking good here. Low slung in the cart, draws alongside, goes for the lead of the race and pulls it off. He's also got the fastest lap of the race as well. His Strawberry Racing teammate Axel Charpentier follows through, and so too does Ollie Caldwell with a good bit of opportunism. So down from first to fourth goes Dylan Byes with the orangish colours on his front nose cone and his side pods, orange and yellow helmet. There he is in fourth place. Coming under attack from Killian Mayer. Killian trying to defend at the same time from Tamino Bergmeier, who's looked very competitive so far here this weekend. The German driver looking good here for Team TKP, a Minimax champion back in 2013 nationally, and going well here in Spain in the top 6 once again, Tamino Bergmeier. So, well, really, you can see the top 12 or 13 karts are all in a long, long line. There's not very much between anybody in this race. We knew it would be like that with qualifying being so close yesterday. Over the line they go, 4 laps complete. Kimber, 0.2 of a second clear, edging away from Axel Charpentier. A challenge for third here. Dylan Byes has got the place back, but Ollie Caldwell snatches it back into turn 2. So they swapped around, and Caldwell gets back into third place. And they got Killian Maher and Tamino Bergmar trying to get in the mix as well. There could be more changes just outside the top 4. Dylan Byes could be dropping back a little bit further in this race if he's not too careful. I think he's emerged behind Mayer in 5th place. Tamino Bergmar couldn't get through though. And then you got Glenn Van Berlo just behind them in 7th place. Joe Phillips in 8th. Tom Canning in 9th. Lucas Dunner in 10th place. And Laurie Lepper is in that group in 11th position as well. Look at this side by side through the hairpin at turn number 6. More changes just outside the top 5. So really good racing here. Some good clean manoeuvres by and large. Had a little bit of contact in some of the races, but it's largely been very fair but very close racing from the juniors. Now, Ollie Caldwell, having patiently worked his way back up into third place. He's on a very good lap here and closing back up to the 2 Strawberry Racing drivers, particularly onto the tail of the championship leader, Axel Charpentier. So through they go. Not much between them now at turn number 1. And then we've got Killian Maher and Dylan Byes, 4th and 5th, trying to get onto the back of that group as well. And almost 3 abreast a bit further back going into turn number 1 in the middle of the pack. 3 or 4 karts running absolutely line astern into the hairpin. The race leader is Mark Kimber. 2nd place is Axel Charpentier. 3rd place, just dropping back at the start of this lap a little bit, is Ollie Caldwell, the pole sitter. 74 there, are you following on screen on the live stream, is Dylan Byes. Back ahead now of Killian Mayer in that 4th place. Tamino Bergmeier just behind them, running in 6th position in the number 33 kart. Glenn Van Berlo 7th. Lucas Dunn is up to 8th place now. He's just got ahead of Tom Canning a few seconds ago. The race leader though, 0.4 of a second clear, Mark Kimber, and looking to add to the very good 3rd place finish he got in the 2nd race earlier on today. He's had 1 bad race. The 1st race didn't go according to plan, but if he has 2 very strong results, including a win here, he'll be, I would have thought, well up in the top 10 on the grid. Down they go into turn number 2. On the brakes once again, and a challenge for 4th place here. Mayer and Byes swapping positions once again, so they change around once more. Good little duel going on between those two drivers, and they're all chopping and changing again into the hairpin. Byes back ahead of Mayer, I think, at turn 3, and Dylan Byes has got the best lap of the race so far. We're on the final lap of the race, by the way, and nearly 1 second clear now is Mark Kimber. Axel Charpentier has got Ollie Caldwell for company. Ollie with a second place finish last time out, third at the moment, and will he risk a manoeuvre? He's well enough clear of fourth place, isn't he, of Bergmeyer, who's now ahead of Dylan Byes. And Mayer's dropped to the back of that little trio, that little fight in 6th place. The checkered flag awaits then. No changes yet. Second and third are absolutely together, though. Ollie Caldwell getting as close as he can, going through the last couple of turns. But I don't think he's quite close enough, is he? Or maybe he is, to get a good run coming out of the corner and spring a surprise for second place. No doubt about the winner. Mark Kimber takes the checkered flag. Charpentier does just about hold on. It's really close for 4th place behind. So it's Kimber, Charpentier and Caldwell third. Bergmeyer just about getting 4th place from Dylan Byes. There was 0.032 seconds between them. So it's Bergmeyer in 4th. A good drive from 11th on the grid. Dylan Byes in 5th. Glenn Van Berlo comes home in 6th place. Killian Mayer 7th. Lucas Dunner in 8th place. Tom Canning was 9th. Oscar Paloma Ortiz rounding out the top 10. And that is 3 races, 3 different winners. Mark Kimber taking the victory this time out. But by my maths, at least, without the benefit of having everything worked out, and of course we've got to wait for the official results, but by my maths, with a win, a second and a 4th, it should be the championship leader, Axel Charpentier, that will be lining up on pole position for the pre-final tomorrow. So a 7-lap race, Kimber beating Charpentier in the end by 1.3 seconds. Caldwell Bergmeyer 4th, Byes 5th, Van Berlo 6th, Mayer in 7th, Dunner 8th, Canning 9th, Paloma Ortiz in 10th place, Laurie Lepper and Joe Phillips rounding out the top 12. And you can see the rest of the results there on screen at the end of the 3rd and final qualifying heat of the day for the junior category here in Zuera.